Welcome to Total Meltdown, Pwned.com's official podcast. This is episode 22, and I'm your host, G Nitro. And with me this evening is Pwned's resident pho eating contest champion, Church,
What?
and the hobo from Ohio, Quiglin.
That's me.
All right, so how you guys doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Had some Chinese food. I'm full. I'm ready to start talking.
Nice.
I just had some steak and shake, and yeah, I'm going through rehab with my knee right now. So, what?
Mm-hmm. You have to excuse me, my beer's overflowing.
Oh, you and your beers.
So I was like, I looked
I was
up
like, what the
as
hell?
the foam's like rising out of the bottle. I'm like, ah. So excuse me, people. I'm good as well. Watched a very good movie today, in one called "Let the Right One In."
That's not a hentai, is it?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's actually a Swedish movie. It's about a 12-year-old boy who's kind of picked on in school by a group of bullies, and he basically is always plotting his revenge, and always taking newspaper clippings of murders in the area and stuff. It's kind of odd at first, but he ends up befriending this young vampire that lives next door to him. She can only come out at night, of course, so he sees her then. But as things escalate out of control with the killings, because she has to feed, it basically goes through how he has finally stood up to the bullies and how they became very good friends and, in fact, fell in love with each other. Well, she's definitely older because she's been a vampire, but it was just a really good film.
Wow.
Um,
Was it subtitled or?
it was subtitled. Well, you have the choice. The initial option is English, and anybody who
Mm.
knows me, there's no way I'm doing it. Um, so I went with the original language, the Swedish language, and English subtitles, and I really enjoyed the movie. It was recommended to me by a friend over at Guzek's Chorus. Actually, he's on Pwned as well. I
Hey, what's
guess we
going
were
on, dude?
talking about Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, and he recommended me that one.
Uh, I just saw that last night or Friday night.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I loved it too. I just saw it last Tuesday, I believe it was. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, or did I see it before? No, I saw it before last week's podcast, didn't I? Because I was talking
Yeah.
about Cat Dennings, which spilled over to the Gametopia podcast.
Oh,
Oh man. Oh, quick. You missed out. Oh wow.
He'll be
Yeah.
on. He'll be on one in a few weeks.
Yeah.
God.
And I know.
I-
I think I mentioned in the last podcast we'd be bringing in the Average Joe Gamer guys.
Yeah.
I want to apologize. I didn't get a chance this week being busy to contact them, but I did contact Wes. We've decided instead of going with all three of them at once and creating a huge clusterfuck that we'll do one at a time. So I invited the guy Wes, who was the one who initially invited me over to theirs. So I'm trying to get him on first, and then I'll get Eric and Nate, the other two hosts of the show,
Right.
on in
Right.
Well, we need to get like Adele from Gametopias over
Yeah,
here.
we need to get Adele and Rachel
Oh yeah.
and Alex if we can get her on.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, think it's a great idea.
Yeah, definitely want to branch out and start bringing people on, see if we can do cross promotion stuff like that. Like maybe I don't know if I'll be on his show, but I'm hoping maybe I can bring on Cheapy D at some point from Cheap Ass
That-
Humor.
Oh, that'd be something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
other than that, it's our weekly update of church. How's the girl going?
We're doing good. We're doing good actually. She actually just called me at work and telling me she misses me and whatnot. And we're actually planning on a trip to go to Toronto this upcoming weekend actually.
Wow.
Nice.
So We're
Staying
gonna-
in the same room and everything, huh?
yeah, I already stayed over her. No, we haven't done that.
I'm at the room in Toronto.
Oh dear
Oh.
God.
God.
No, no, I already stayed over her place like I think 3 to 4 times already. So
All right. All right. All
Just
right.
remember
So
to wrap it up. And don't use the Watchmen condoms because that's kind of creepy.
which one? Oh, the
The Watchmen blue condoms.
Oh, God.
no, no.
Just like me going to see that. The reason why I won't go see that movie, I don't want to see Blue Penis. I'm pretty sure any girl doesn't want to see that either.
I don't think they mind too much.
You know what? The film was good though. I mean, if you can just cut that part out, then the film is actually.
Now, the reason why I'm not going to see it, I can't spend 3 hours in a movie theater.
I did. I thought the movie
I
went
did,
went out pretty fast actually. It didn't feel
I
like
did
3 hours after the end of it.
I'll watch it when I can at home, so I can pause it and go to the bathroom, pause it, get up and do what I got to do. 3 hours is a long time for me to sit in the theater.
Is it?
If it was Japanese schoolgirls, you'd sit.
Dude, there's so many Asian films that come out here now. I don't even go see them because I don't like going to the theaters anymore.
Dude, he would have to take a break every 15 minutes and come back and then get back up.
Dude, I'd have to bring a change of underwear to change every 15 minutes.
Exactly. That's why you have to go out every 15 minutes.
Oh god. I was gonna say we started out so well, but we really just started out so low.
Yep. Well, I'll bring it back up a little higher. I did go house hunting today.
Oh yeah.
Out for those in the Maryland area. I was looking in the Columbia, Maryland area. More upscale. So even townhomes are like, while everything's getting lower, it's tough finding some of these townhomes at the price I'm looking at. I found one at 220, one at 230 today. 220 found out already had 3 offers above list price. So
Wow.
I was like, what recession? The people are fighting over a home.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the 231 we're gonna try to make an offer on and hopefully bring it in a little lower. Really nice home. So, and I have a backup one that's about 200. Needs a lot of like paint and stuff.
Yeah.
And some fixes here and there, but for the price, I mean, I can deal.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we'll see how that goes. I think that's about it for me. Quig, I know out there in Ohio, one of your college teams out there had a huge upset on round 1 in NCAA. I don't know.
Oh
if
yeah, good old Cleveland State.
Yeah, I was shocked. They ruined my thing for at least a couple rounds.
And then they got totally spanked today.
Yeah, at Wake Forest going at least till, I think, was it today or the next one? I can't remember.
No, it was today.
Who'd they play today? Who would have Wake Forest had played today?
Arizona.
Question.
Okay, I had Wake going another week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did I, but
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
wait. Dude, Cleveland is like 4 hours away. It's literally on the other
You've
side
got
of the
like
state.
5 or 6 teams though in the tournament. What the hell's up with that?
Dude, I'm from Chicago. We have no teams in
I
the
thought you
tournament.
were in Ohio.
I live in Ohio, but I'm just living here.
Yeah, yeah.
Just living there.
Aren't you from Cincinnati? Or living in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bengals.
Yeah.
Ocho Cinco.
Hey, the Bears are coming to town this year. I've already lined up my tickets.
Nice. I have yet to go to a football game.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, none of my coworkers will take me because I won't root for the Ravens.
Well, I don't blame you.
Fuck the Ravens.
Didn't Ray Lewis sign back with the Ravens, or what's going on?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody else was calling him.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants his old ass. But,
God. So what are you, a Redskins fan then?
I'm a
Oh,
Raiders
dear
fan.
God.
Oh, that's right. You're a Raiders fan. I forgot.
Woo! Black hole! I hope they stink it up again this year.
Oh,
Until Al Davis gives up the team. I don't really give a shit. I'm tired of him. I was a big fan of Lane Kiffin, and I thought if Al Davis had given him a chance, he would have turned the team around. But after Al Davis fired him and then claimed he wasn't the coach he was looking for after saying he was, I'm just done. Let Al Davis either die or give up the team, which unfortunately I say that die because, and I don't mean that in a malicious way. I don't want him to die. I just know he's not going to get rid of the team until he dies. So the team's kind of stuck until the man passes away.
Oh, I feel the same way about the Lions and the Ford family. I'm waiting for Ford to die. I'm like, come on, dude, you're not going to give up the team. Just pass away already.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It sounds bad, but it's kind of true. So, but anyway, I guess we'll get into our member feedback and questions. So we got quite a few comments. Well, actually, before we get into the comments, have either of y'all checked the forums into the thread?
Somewhat, yes.
Have you seen
Uh,
Dead Quiglin?
yes, I have.
Yes, I
That is
have.
brilliant.
It's hilarious. Hades, awesome job. Gotta say, Dead Quiglin is hilarious. We need more people to get posters like that, or fake posters / covers like that, because that was brilliant. When he sent me the link, I died laughing.
Oh no, yeah, I checked it out and I started cracking up laughing. Just a smile on your face and that picture is priceless.
I'm just like, hey, all right.
I was like, who the
It's a
hell is
random
that
chick
chick?
covered in blood hugging you.
Screaming into his chest.
She's like, I'm gonna bite you.
And you're like going, yeah, baby, I welcome all of it.
So I hope we get some more. Otherwise, he's pretty much guaranteed a copy of the Dead Space Downfall.
Yeah.
But he's staff, so I gotta think. Can he actually win?
He's not. It's not like Church did it and expected to win.
Yeah, true. I'm just messing. This is the podcast. I can decide whoever wins I want. I'll be like, Hades, nice picture. I'm giving it to Hey Chess. No, I'm just kidding. Unfortunately, we have no comments or questions from her this week.
Yeah, because people complained that she made too many comments, so she's not gonna make one this week.
Yeah, to everybody complaining, if you're not gonna add your own comment, shut
Then
the
don't
fuck
say anything. Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of messed up. We like the comments. If it's chest every week, hey, we'll read it off every week. Not to mention she's freaking awesome.
She is. She's really cool to talk to and whatnot, especially on Gears 2 and whatnot. So
we'll talk about that later. Well, that's part of my discussion of games I've been playing, so we'll talk about that later. All right. Another comment we had says, I think this episode deserves a podcast award. Rich was the best guest you ever had on the show.
Thanks, Rich.
Guess who left that? Yeah, exactly. Rich is boosting his own ego here. No, it really was a fun show. While Church and Quig enjoyed the constant cracks on me. Thanks for the backup, guys.
Oh, no problem.
We were right there.
No problem.
We were right about to say something. Yeah.
All right. Our final comment before we get into a question that we have is from Snappy Dude. This comes from my heated discussion with Rich last week over BioShock. And he says, Nitro, I agree with you. BioShock is the most overrated game I've ever played. The gameplay is slow and boring, one enemy at a time. I mean, come on. I saw the ending coming a mile away. The story's okay. Overall, maybe 8.5 to 8.7, but it's no Mass Effect. Give a little disclaimer. Snappy, just like myself, both of us are huge Mass Effect fans. We've read both books. And anybody who hasn't, if you haven't played the game, at least go read the books. Fucking great.
Wait, can you read the books without playing the game? Like, I mean, would it make sense?
Well, the first book is the prequel to the game.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and the third one is kind of like a side story that happens right after the game. So you don't really need to play it, but if you have a PC, you might as well get the game. It's $20 on Steam.
Oh, is it? No, I might as well get that later on today after the podcast.
Yeah, so.
I think my machine can handle it, so we'll find out.
And Snappy goes on with, another thing I noticed is in other games like Too Human or Prince of Persia, people complain so much about how the death system in those games was too easy on the player, yet BioShock is just as forgiving and no one ever complains. Overall, BioShock is boring, as little to no replay value. The upgrade and power systems are great, but the game is too easy and far too slow gameplay-wise, so go Nitro, glad to see another person not up the ass of the big daddies. I do want to make a comment here, because I was reading the recent Game Informer article on BioShock 2. I guess they've heard the complaints from some of us who didn't like the fact you can only use the plasmids or use the gun. Because in the new one, you can use both at the same time. You'll be able to, like, hit the guy with your drill or whatever while he's falling back, hit him with the plasmid at the same time. Instead of trying to switch hands. And I really like the idea of that. It seems like it's going to speed up the gameplay. It seems like it's going to be adding a lot more to the repertoire of the protagonist. I guess you can call him that. I don't know. He's kind of a big daddy now.
Spoilers.
No, you know what? The game's been out for like 2 years. I don't want to hear spoiler alert.
I never played the game, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, neither have I, but you totally spoiled it for me. Cry.
Wah.
Tear.
Wow. Really, Quidlin?
Seriously, if you haven't played a game in 2 years, spoiler alerts don't count.
Oh, come on.
That's like me saying something about God of War 2 and you haven't played God of War 2. It's like, dude, the game has been out forever.
Yeah, I haven't, but I don't care. If
I haven't.
I have God of War 1 and 2, but I haven't gotten a chance to play either of them, and I need to by next March when 3 comes out. So, but no, I can see Snappy agrees with me. I am gonna give the game another shot on easy because I do want to do the story at least before the second one comes out, because the second one's kind of piqued my interest in how it goes. So after reading that article, I kind of want to finish the story at least, even if it's me just forcing myself through the game. I'll try my best. I just got it in from Guzek, so we'll go with that.
You can do it, dude. You can do it.
Oh, I do want to give shout-outs to GeoMoose.
Oh, yeah.
Over on Guzek's, he basically hyped up our podcast.
Really?
And said my whole 12-minute intro on how to use Guzek's was a good listen for new users on Guzek's and stuff like that when Rich asked me how it works. So he gave us props there. Thank you, GeoMoose. Any way we can get more listeners, we are in your debt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I friended him this week, so woo.
Yeah. He's a cool dude. Always comes out to the meetups when we have him here in Maryland. So, now we have one question this week. It's from Butcher. He says, funny we were talking about this before the show started. I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts on Resident Evil 5, excluding Quiglin? Have you guys played it yet? I guess he's listened enough to know that. No, he knows that Quiglin doesn't own a 360 or PS3. So, if so, what are your thoughts on the game? If not, explain why. What console do you guys plan to buy it on? Many people complain about its controls being a stop-and-shoot game. I find that rather enjoying, with many unlockables and enjoyable gunplay. Just want to know your opinions of the game. Thanks. Love the podcast, and have a good one. I got to be honest. I haven't played anything but the demo. I'm not a fan of the stop-and-shoot. Which I don't mind as much as the fact that you have to stop and knife. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to walk and knife somebody.
Especially when you can run faster with a knife.
Yeah. So I don't get that, but I don't have it, so I can't give my full thoughts of it, the full game. If I ever do play it, it'll be for the 360. But honestly, as somebody who Guzexes a lot of games for trade, I didn't even bother getting in line. So I don't really plan on playing it in the near future. I don't know about you, Church or Quig.
No, after reading some of the reviews and whatnot about the game, I mean, at first I was like, oh, it's a Resident Evil game, a new one, and blah, 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 all that stuff. But then after reading some of the reviews, I was like, is it even worth my time? I mean, even XPlay gave it a 3 out of 5. I was really shocked by that. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I don't want to bash XPlay.
No, I don't either.
AAA title, I've never seen them give less than a 4.
I know,
Yeah, exactly.
And they give it a 3 out of 5, and I was like, wow. I mean, it must have been that bad for Adam Sandler to bash on the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's problems is the jump from Resident Evil 3 to 4 was so huge that people were expecting that same jump from Resident Evil 4 to Resident Evil 5, and I don't think it made that kind of leap. I mean, it made the upgrade in resolution, but I don't think it made it necessarily in gameplay.
Yeah.
Once Easter happens, my brother's bringing the game. We're going to co-op the whole thing in one weekend, so I'll let you know when that happens.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and that's what they say is make sure you do the co-op because it makes the game makes it a little bit better because the AI that's with you is a complete moron.
Yeah, I hear she'll stand in front of you while you're doing stuff. I mean, that's the problem with making the game co-op regardless. I'll tell you the game that worked better from what it sounds like. 50 Cent was actually really done well. Your guy was never in your way. He was always shooting somebody else that you weren't really aiming at, and would always tell you when there was something nearby, whether it was like a box to break open for treasure or something else. I thought it worked well. It sounds like Sheva's not the brightest unless you put it on the hard setting, which kind of sucks. Shouldn't the hard setting be up in the AI for the enemies?
Yeah, one would think, right?
Yeah. One thing I want to get your guys' thoughts on. Capcom has decided to release multiplayer for Resident Evil 5, and they're charging everybody $5. Now, it's not like this is coming out 3 or 4 months later as an add-on. It's like coming out, or it might already be out by now. If it isn't, it's coming out in a week or so. I mean, it's not even a month later, and they're already bringing out this multiplayer aspect, and they're charging $5.
Is there actual download on the game, or is it like, hey, this was already on the disc and we're unlocking
Nobody
it
knows.
Because
Nobody knows yet.
If it's already on the disc, that's bullshit.
Well, a lot of people are thinking it is. And the problem is the Capcom guy came out on some forums and was like, look, he gave some bullshit excuse. Like, this was a different budget. We separated our budgets for the multiplayer separate from the game. And I'm going, what? That's like saying Killzone 2 comes out, and because it's the multiplayer, we put it on a different budget. Now you got to pay $5 for it.
Yeah, that's idiotic.
Not to mention, at least with Killzone 2 and shooters, you know it's an established multiplayer. Resident Evil doesn't have an established multiplayer. Do you really think you're going to get on there and find a lot of people playing?
No.
I just think
Well,
that...
because, look, you can look at that with Metal Gear 4.
And that was
They
free.
came out, yeah, well, that's free, but I don't think a lot of people played the multiplayer. I mean, I played a little bit about it, but I felt like I was playing a slow version of SOCOM.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that Capcom, just like with their costume packs for Street Fighter 4, are trying to milk people through DLC, and it's not right. It's bullshit. I'm getting tired. This is a complaint that I should have probably brought up on our DLC show for digital distribution. But this is one of my issues. These companies are using it to extort shit out of players. To bring out bullshit that should be given to you. If you're not bringing out new levels, okay, here's something I heard on one of the podcasts that was a perfect idea. Bring out the multiplayer now. And in 3 to 4 months, bring out pay-for levels. That sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
You're adding more
I like
to the
that.
multiplayer, but don't tell me you're going to charge me $5 now, and you better not bring out levels later and say, here, you got to pay another $5, $10.
Yeah.
I personally think that's bullshit, and Capcom is starting to become Scamcom.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I don't know. They're trying to blame the economy. I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're really trying to milk as much money as they can out of us consumers.
Right now, we got the economy going downwards, somewhat of a recession, and you're trying to milk gamers for everything they're worth? The fuck is that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I'm just gonna reiterate. Like if it's on the disc already, then they've already paid for it. I don't understand why they have to pay to unlock it. That's not right.
Yeah. So, that's the thoughts on Resident Evil 5. Sorry, none of us have actually played it, Butcher, but I should be playing a lot more new games in the upcoming weeks. I've just been swamped with work. Like I just got Suikoden Tierkreis, and I still haven't gotten a chance to play it.
No, I agree with you. I mean, yesterday and today was like the only times I've actually sat down and got on my 360 and PC. All the other days, I've just been like, I don't want to do anything. I really.
Hey man, you're trying to get a relationship off the ground. That means you got to spend a lot of time with her.
It's
not like that.
No, it's not that. I mean, I rarely see her throughout the week, anyways. I mostly after work, I just go right home and.
Does she know you do a podcast?
Yeah.
Don't ever let her listen.
No, she listens to the podcast.
Oh shit! I'm
Yeah.
gonna get slapped if I ever meet her.
Oh no,
Whatever.
She
As soon as you
no, no.
meet, you're gonna be like, "I'm Quig," so that she'll be like, "Oh, you're the nice one."
Like I'm Quaglin.
No, yeah, no,
I'm gonna change all my pictures on my Pwn page now.
No, she goes, why do they keep on asking you if you've done it with me yet? I'm like, it's just how they are.
Oh, there's no
it's-
wheat stuff.
I'll be. Hey, I'm gonna defend Quiglin here. It's me. It's not Quig. Even I'm not gonna let him take the rap for that. I'm the pervert here.
No, I told her, I'm like, I told her, I'm like, it's just Mike, G Nitro, that's it.
And it's all jokes. I really am,
Oh, I know.
Gavin. Just
She knows she knows it's all fun and games too. So
I got to get my shots in when I can. So let's move on to Pwn news. We got a couple things here. Not much going on. First off, we have some new banners. I'm sure you guys know if you go to your user homepage and click on Promote Pwned, you had a choice before of just this one kind of large banner that showed off your points and what else? Friends in your picture, and it gave your referral code. Well, now they've added two more. One's a small, thinner one with the same information. Then they have one that shows off, I believe it's like your top 5 games on your favorites.
yeah,
Looking at Snappy Dudes, it shows he's got his as like Call of Duty 4, Mass Effect, 2 Human, Fable 2, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So you can now set your top in your favorites, set your top 5, and it'll show up on your signature. So it's a really cool idea. I'll probably change mine because I have mine set up over at Cheap Ass Gamer a little differently. So I'll probably change mine to the games. Hopefully it'll get people's attention a little more.
actually, I'll probably put that up on Soupy also.
Yeah, honestly, I can't see how my Asian girl avatar doesn't get anybody's attention.
Jeez.
The other thing on the Pwn Marketplace, we have finally added for those Xbox Live users out there, 12-month Xbox Live subscription cards. So once you get enough points, they're set at 25,000. So it's not a bad deal at all. It's about the price of a PSP or DS game on the marketplace. So for 25,000 points, you can get a 12-month Xbox Live subscription card and join us on game nights. There you go. You got a deal on subscription cards? Come join us on game nights.
But what if they don't have the game?
Then they got to go buy it.
You get that on. You get that on Pwn points too.
Well, we have like 4 or 5, 6, 7 different game nights. I mean, come on.
Well, I know.
That's something. Speaking of which, game nights happened this past week. We had 4 different game nights. 5 actually. I always forget about the PC night. Sorry, Clover.
Actually, no. The PC one didn't happen, so it was just 4.
Okay. So then it is 4. See, I don't run that, so I don't know. So first off, last Wednesday we had Call of Duty 4 night. Rice Rocket took that home again. So one more win for Rice Rocket, and we'll be placing the 1,000-point bounty on him.
I wasn't last.
I think I was like 5th or 6th, maybe. I don't know. Soul Calibur 4 night happened last Friday. Thank you to Erraticus for hosting those since I got rid of my copy. Monkey D. Luffy won again. One more of those, and 1,000-point bounty will be placed on his head. And we had our Halo 3 night, which we had a bounty on Matrix's head. He had won nonstop since the first time we started Halo 3, and he showed up. Well, he was finally taken down by Jay Ballin or JT Ballin. Can't remember off the top of my head.
Jay Ballin.
Yeah. I know Matrix wasn't too happy. I'll be honest. Jay Ballin did have his friend TC Buzz Boys, and they kind of teamed up on him. But let's be honest, it's not against the rules. How you play is how you play.
And plus, it's a bounty, so.
Yeah. So Jay Ballin took home not only the 500 points for winning the night, but the 1,000-point bounty. So we're pretty much reset back at almost 0. And just earlier before we recorded this podcast, we had our Resistance 2 night. Console Gamer won the night again, so a 1,000-point bounty is on his head starting next month. I would like to say I came in second. Definitely getting better at that game.
Is it something worth picking? Is it something worth picking up?
I think it's a lot of fun. You can make it set up the control so it plays like Call of Duty 4. I like it more than Killzone 2 online, honestly. I really like it. I really enjoy Resistance 2. Boricua Storm will admit to my nade throwing skills in that game. I chucked one that landed right on him. He didn't think it was gonna make it. I didn't either, and it was like, boom, and his ass was done. But he always tends to get me right back. But I definitely was getting better. Console Gamer used to beat us by more than double the second place score, and he had 112 points, and I had 64 tonight, so I kept him from doubling one of us. So I'm catching up to him.
Too.
I'm definitely catching up to him. So I plan on keep making the progress as I keep getting better. I guess I've gotten a comfort level in that game now.
That's good.
Yeah. No, I definitely like that game a lot. I was playing co-op with my brother, and the only problem is like with 2 people, when you need like 8 or whatever it is, it's hard to get through a level.
Yeah. We did that as a Pwned night once. It was all right. I didn't really enjoy those co-op mission stuff, but I enjoy the online, and I still have never touched the single player. I just haven't had time to play it. I mean, I've mostly been playing the Pwned nights. So, our next night is next Sunday at 6 p.m. I know it's kind of a far way off, but due to a wedding I have that Saturday for a coworker, I'm not going to be able to make it on Saturday, so I made it for Sunday. Made it for Gears. Gears 2 will be our next Pwned night. So come on out. We can fit 10 to a room. If we have more than 10, we'll try to split it up as best as possible between multiple rooms.
I might be back from Toronto that night, so
Nice. Definitely got to make it. I'm hoping Chest and Death Temptress both make it so I can chainsaw the hell out of both of them. It always feels good.
Oh god, that was so much fun.
She kept boom shotting me this past week, and I was like, no! And I freaking got her back with a chainsaw when she wasn't paying attention.
Remember that one, I think it was that one map, it was that snow map or whatever? And like, she was the last one, and 3 guys, myself included, had the chainsaw already to chop her up.
Yeah, we definitely double teamed her on a couple chainsaws. Somebody else would already be chainsawing, and I'd run up and start helping. Like, I want a piece. Ah! But speaking of that,
I love you, Chesty.
Yeah, love you, Nicola.
Oh
Wink.
god.
So what we're playing? Let's start off with Quiglin this week, since last week Rich was here and we let him go first. Quig, why don't you go first?
All right. Well, basically, been playing more of Mad World, which is I'm still really enjoying it. I know it does seem a little repetitive at times, but then again, it's a brawler, so aren't all brawlers really repetitive all the time? Also been playing Lord of the Rings Online. I hit the old level cap, so I'm just 10 more levels to go to the new level cap.
Nice.
And I've been playing Wallace and Gromit's Grand Adventure Episode 1, which I can't talk about because it's embargoed, but I am reviewing that. Hope to have that up on Tuesday.
All right. So that's it?
That's it for me.
Church?
I am still playing the crappy voice dubbing of Star Ocean 4, Dawn of War 2.
You get to control the voice dubbing?
I wish.
You like turn off.
God, I wish I could just read the subtitles, but that's probably be as bad too. But yeah, I'm still playing Warhammer 40K, Dawn of War 2, trying to beat that. I have a feeling it's going to take me about another month.
Have you played online a little bit?
I want to. I just want. I think I'm gonna start doing that sometime this week when I find the time. Um, and whenever I'm not playing World of Warcraft too. So
Which I'm guessing is your other game you've been playing.
yeah, yeah. Which is sort of funny because I've been playing less of that lately than I've done with any other game actually, to be honest with you. But all I do is log on, do the one jewel crafting daily quest, and log off. That's about it.
Wow.
Wow.
It's 15 gold a day. I just log in, log right back out, and that's about it.
Damn. Well, I've been playing all sequels this week. Rock Band 2. I've still been playing that, trying to get through more and more arenas and stuff. Really trying to finish that so I can go back through with my other 3 bandmates and get money for them. So when they do their actual respective instrument, they'll have the money for it. Since I'm best on the guitar, that's how I'm doing it. I did get the Guitar Hero World Tour full band kit in this week. I already had the game, but I actually got the full band kit so I could try the drums, and I absolutely fucking suck at drums.
Yeah.
And I used them in Rock Band 2, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'll ever be touching these drums again. So I regret the purchase, but it was only $120 on Amazon.
Wow.
This past week. Yeah, so.
Dude, keep it, Mike. So whenever I come down, I'll do the drum part.
Oh, I'm definitely not getting rid of it.
Oh, I like the Guitar Hero World Tour drums much better than
That's why I bought that.
than the Rock Band
No,
drums.
dude, the drums that I have from World Tour, I want to toss them out
Why?
because they're not responding.
Oh, they
Really?
have a program you can download now, and you plug it into your. There's a way to hook it up to your computer, and it'll basically let you calibrate your drums.
Really?
Yeah, setting. Just Google search it. I can't remember. I just remember it came out when the game first came out. There was a lot of problems, especially with the cymbals.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So-
I want to calibrate them so badly, or else I'm going to toss them out.
Just go to Activision's website. You should be able to find it there. It's just a little program you download. Other than that, like I said, I played Gears of War 2 this past week on the Game Topia's community night. I almost broke my controller a few times.
That he almost did.
To the point where even my headset doesn't stay in too properly on the controller. Be honest, there's just some games where it's just so cheap. It's like just drives me insane. The mortar in Gears of War 2 is bullshit. The Scorcher is bullshit. Like, they're just so easy. They take away the tactical aspect, especially the mortar, because it's just boom, set it up, and they come raining down on you.
Yeah.
The Scorcher keeps its fire going way too long. In my opinion, it doesn't offer a challenge to the person using it. So the person who's getting hit with it is just like, even if you try to back up and roll away, you're already too far gone. I don't know. I have fun here and there. And no, it's not just when I'm winning, because I don't win a lot, so. There was one part that was great. I think it was like 4-on-1 at one point. Nobody thought I'd get a kill out, and I got 2 kills. One person, like, I hid. It was me versus Church's team. And Chest and all these other people had already died. And Church's team goes walking by because I ran and ran and ran until I could hide. And I watched them go by me. Well, one of them was like, well, let me check around the side here. And I was waiting.
Hello?
Sorry, I hit my mute button.
He's so excited.
No, like, I was waiting and the guy came around and I chainsawed him. So all of a sudden they knew I was somewhere. So they started coming back. Well, I got one more chainsaw off before I died. But I loved it. I was like, that's all I do in the game is nade and chainsaw. You know what? It's a commonplace that all I do is nade people.
Yeah, you YouTube and
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, wait. The next game, Killzone 2. Was playing it with a bunch of the Guzex guys from their chat room. And I really realize I just despise that game. It's just too slow for me. Everybody tells me not just to play deathmatch, that deathmatch really sucks, which I'm like, they're like, but if you play deathmatch and all the other ones, it's really good. And I'm like, well, shouldn't it be have a better balance? Deathmatch is like the key thing to play. I was like, this isn't Gears of War 2. When I play deathmatch, I expect a fun experience, and it's just not that fun. So I played for a while, and I just kind of got like fed up, and I just left. It's even worse when people start coming in and they really outrank you, and you don't have something set to where you're going in with people only around your rank. Man, they destroy you because they're just set up. They already have everything maxed out, and they're just murking you left and right. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I prefer Resistance 2 over Killzone 2. A lot of people may not agree with me there, but I prefer the Call of Duty style and the fact that I can fully customize my controls. And finally, the last sequel I played this week, I played some Saints Row 2 on the PS3. Was trying to play with the guy Chorus, and Saints Row 2 on PS3
Broken.
it's fucking horrible. Like, I was like, if anybody's opinion on PS3 came from playing the PS3 version, and they're like, this is the worst game ever, I can't blame them. We were playing, even on easy, you expect the cops to at least know where you are. They wouldn't even start shooting until you're about like 5 feet away from them.
Really?
It was awful. There was just so many glitches here, so many glitches there. We were having a lot of problems, and I was just getting fed up. Like, I was getting pissed. It was so bad. And I was like, I kept telling the guy, I was like, would you please go get this for 360? Now there's supposed to be a major patch coming out for both consoles, either yesterday or later this week. It was supposed to come out. So hopefully it fixes all those problems. I really don't think it was too needed on the 360, so it'll be interesting to see what it improved. So I really had no problems with the game for the most part. The PS3 though was just trash. So that's really all I played this week was a bunch of sequels. Hopefully I'll finally get the Star Ocean 4 next week and Suikoden Tierkreis. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Well, you said it about Star Ocean like last week and
I say
before.
hopefully.
Oh.
I say hopefully.
I know.
Oh.
And we're gonna go into the new segment. Quig, I don't know if you got the message earlier.
I just got it right before, but
Okay.
go ahead.
We're gonna do our new bargain bin segment. No pun intended. We're not saying church is a bargain. No,
$5, holla, yeah.
$5. Oh God, I gotta stop. I kid. Nah, but we know with the economy and a lot of people, especially on Pwned, don't always have the money to go out and buy $60 games or new systems. So what we're gonna do every week now is each of us is gonna pick a title that's easily accessible on systems that is $20 or less, preferably $25 or less, and how and where you can pick it up. So I'll let one of you two start.
Huh.
You're gonna have to start.
Yeah. Oh, me? You want me to start?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know we were going to do it this week. I thought we were going to do it next week, actually. But, no, oh boy.
All right.
No, yeah, someone needs to start because
All right, I'll start.
I've been way too busy to do anything today, so.
I actually brought it up earlier. It's on 2 separate platforms. It's Mass Effect. You can now get it off Steam for $20, like I said earlier, and you can easily find it in stores for $20 or less. I believe the Greatest Hits version has come out with an extra DVD with it, and it is also $20. It's a great pickup for somebody looking for a good, solid RPG. that is going to take you 30 to 40 hours to beat. It's got a great story. Great. I really like the third person gameplay. A lot of people thought it wasn't as tight as it could be, but I really enjoyed it. And I love having the option to choose how I want to answer or ask questions in the game. So it takes the KOTOR and Jade Empire rule of thumb of we'll give you these options to go good or bad, and it just expands on it so well. And with Mass Effect 2 coming out early next year, this is a great time to pick it up at a really cheap price. And like I said, you can get it $20 off Steam, or you can go into any store and should be able to find it, at least through Greatest Hits, at $20. So be on the lookout for that.
All right. Nice. I'm gonna cheat, and because I just found out about this right before, and Steam right now is having a huge indie game sale, and it's 33% off basically on
How long
any
does
of
that
the
last till?
title. Actually, it doesn't say. It doesn't say on here at the moment, but you can get Audio Surf, which is awesome, for $6.70, and World of Goo is only $13.40. So these are two games for $20 that you can get total,
Yeah.
and both of them are just fantastic games.
Especially since if you missed out on the $5 World of Goo, you can still pick it up at a reasonable price.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I picked up on this one. I already got World of Goo when it was at $5. I actually picked up Dangerous High School Girls in Trouble. It's kind of like a mix of a puzzle game, board game type deal. I've heard really good things about it, so I decided I'd pick that up. It was actually $6.70, and I
Mhm.
picked up The Path at it was only $1 off, but I was really interested in it. It's from all the reviews I've read, it's kind of like this horror game, but it's not really like a game. It's like art. You basically do like a Red Riding Hood type deal where your mother sends one of 6 sisters from their apartment in the city to visit the grandmother, who's sick and bedridden. The only thing is, you fail the game if you just walk the path to her house. The point of the game is to go off the path, to find the metaphorical wolf, and other things. Like, doing it the way you're not supposed to is actually how this game is played. If you want to call it a game, all the reviews basically say this isn't much of a game, but it's just a really enjoyable story, and it really gets you thinking. So I'm hoping to start that this week, definitely, because it's not supposed to be that long either. So
Wow.
I definitely have to agree with you on that. That's a great choice. And I don't know how long it lasts, so
It does not say.
yeah, I'm really trying to find it. And it definitely doesn't.
No. Mm-mm. But if you have Steam, I would definitely say check it out. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
spending.
here we go.
Oh,
March 29th. So
Oh.
you have a week, week or less than a week to get your hands on some games from 10% to 33% off.
There you go.
So,
Can't beat
Church,
that.
we're throwing
Well,
the ball
see,
back in your court.
yeah. Well, I was gonna do this one, but it's gonna expire in 29 hours, so I'm not gonna say it. It was pretty much Little Big Planet at GoGamers.com, which I know you're a little not too happy about.
Yeah, that was bullshit. Let me explain something to people. GoGamers.com put up Little Big Planet, the PAL version from the UK for $22, and they put up the American version at $25. I initially bought the PAL version, not realizing which one it was. So I canceled that, and I canceled that version because I was like, I can't really trade that on GoozeX if I want to get rid of it, because it has to be the American region. So even though it's region free, so I reordered 2 copies of the American version, one to flip on GoozeX now, one for myself. Well, I had already said I'm sending off my Little Big Planet that I already own, used, to GoozeX. So I got that out, and I get an email Friday afternoon saying we must apologize, but we have to cancel your order. an employee put in the wrong product the inventory quantity, and he is no longer with us.
Wow.
So they also fired this guy. But the problem I had was they gave you only two options. You can either downgrade to the PAL version, and they refund you $3 and give you a 10% off coupon, or cancel your order.
What?
What kind of bullshit is that? They should have given the 10% off regardless, and probably more, in my opinion. It should have been 10% off regardless, and they should have given you at least 20% off that PAL price
Yeah, they
for that
should've.
bullshit that they pulled.
Why didn't they
don't
just
know.
backorder the game and then give it to you at the price
the
that
other
you bought
thing.
it for?
Why the hell? Well, it says on there, and we're not expecting to get any other copies of this game in the near future.
What?
I find that bullshit with Little Big Planet that you're not going to get any more copies. So I don't think I will ever shop at GoGamer again. It's going to have to be an extremely good deal for me to even attempt it. My problem wouldn't be if they hadn't charged my credit card before even shipping. They charged all these people credit cards, and they'd never even shipped the game.
Oh, that's not right.
So now I got to wait for a fucking refund of my credit card.
That is messed up.
Yeah, I was like, this is bullshit. Fuck GoGamer. They can kiss my ass. And I'm saying it now. I mean, just don't give a shit about them anymore. And I know Church wanted to use that, but I can't recommend GoGamer.
No, I mean, I got the email saying that it's shipped. I probably will get it either tomorrow or on Tuesday, but yeah, I think I got the PAL version, but it doesn't matter because I'm not selling it on Gooseneck anyway. So, the only one I can find right now is pretty much is the Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories for the PSP, which is right now at $19.99. So.
Nice. I never really played that.
I'm guessing if you're a huge Grand Theft Auto fan and you need Grand Theft Auto on the go, it's right there. If you have a PSP and you need something like I could have had like during my physical therapy, I could just, if I had a PSP, I probably would have been playing that while they were icing my knee during the last 15 minutes they had me laying there. So
Nice. So I think we hit quite a few different genres there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people go out there and check out some of these games. If you haven't tried them out yet, they're great pickups at the price. I do want to say one more thing. Play Asia is having a huge sale right now. Their Lucky Spring sale, for those who don't know, they're a big import gaming site. They also sell some domestic products. Shipping's usually pretty cheap. At an item's usually around $3 shipping, and it ships from Hong Kong. I personally bit on about 3 or 4 PSP import games, along with some Haruhi figures. So
that's no surprise right there.
I couldn't help it. The Haruhi Gothic Lolita figure I really wanted was finally in stock. So, and it's not what it sounds like.
Yeah, it is.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it
not.
is.
Come out
No, it's not. But it's a figure that I've wanted since last year around the time of Otakon. But at Otakon, they were selling it for $125, and I got it for $70. Off play.
If I had a PSP, I would get this game right now.
Get a PSP.
You know what?
Why?
I'll probably get a Japanese. What? Did you say why?
Yeah.
I love it. They're great for import games
Yeah.
because Japan keeps throwing out more and more games while we get nothing.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I had one of the original Japanese PSP when it first came out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then-
Phantasy Star Portable is supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah. No, the game that I'm looking at right now, which they have on their was it Lucky Spring sale?
Yeah.
For the PSP is the Super Robot Tyson 8
Oh,
Portable.
God, you and Gundam.
It's not
Yeah, I
all
like
Gundam
Gundam.
in that game. It's
I like
all
Gundam.
giant
You know
robots.
damn well that's what you want it for.
I like
No, it's
Gundam.
Hmm?
I like Gundam.
I have
What's wrong
another
with that?
Gundam in here.
I hate Gundam. Oh,
Except for
so
that weird
generic.
little.
mech.
Except for the SD Gundam Force, where they were all like these kitty
That's what
things.
he's
That
talking about, isn't it? Super Robot Tyson.
Yeah,
It's all SD.
Yeah, it's all SD. But
Oh.
the voice is like based it's from all the actual pilots.
Yeah.
So
See,
it's not like the show where it's like the actual Gundam talks. No, it's not that.
yeah.
Oh,
See, I
okay.
did get a SD style game in Fate Tiger Coliseum, which is a super deformed fighting game based off of the Fate Stay Night series. So I also got another one, Common No Maid Guy, I believe it's called. Um, it's got some interesting mini games, and I was like, I gotta get it. So I got the special edition.
Quote unquote interesting.
Yes, they were interesting mini games. Damn it.
Oh. Are you cleaning girls again that got dirty?
Don't know. We'll find out. The other game I got was Bleach Soul Carnival, which, kind of interestingly enough, is another super deformed fighting game. They take the Bleach Heat the Soul characters and basically made a chibi fighting game out of them. So that should
Awesome.
be interesting. Hey, it was only $25, so just like the Fate Tiger Coliseum was 20, and the Common No Maid Guy, Boyoyon Battle Royale with limited edition was 50. So which normally goes for like 70 or 80. So.
See, they need to do more games like
Yeah.
that, actually.
Well, the other Haruhi figures I got are like those little capsule figures, or there's ones that come in boxes. They were $2 each, so I ordered 5 of them.
God.
Well, it's all random, and I don't want to get stuck with one of the dudes, so I was like, I gotta get something. I'm glad you laugh at my misfortune, or possible misfortune.
I don't think we're laughing necessarily at the misfortune.
Just at me?
Yes.
Alright, that's fair enough. So, we're gonna get into our topic of the week discussion. For those who listened last week, you already know what this is. This is our discussion on PlayStation 2, as it is now on the decline, and not in a bad way, but I mean, it's getting up there in age. It's been out for almost 10 years. It'll be 9 years this October. So we're going to discuss our favorite memories of the PS2 and the notable missteps that it had. Everybody knows it was kind of a juggernaut, but it did have its problems here and there. So I don't know who wants to start this off. We'll talk about the memories first, and then we'll go into the missteps. So somebody throw out the first one.
Why don't we?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, why don't we talk about how we actually got our PS2s? Because I actually was one of the people who bought them off of eBay because I couldn't get one in the store.
Okay, we can discuss that because that was actually one of my memories. We'll start off each with one of our memories of how we got it then.
Yeah, I just remember that day when it came, and I opened up the box and I just set it up and I'm like, yep. And I'm starting to play it, like getting into the night. I'm like, yep, not going to work tomorrow.
How much did you pay for it off eBay?
I think I paid $4 something for that and like 4 games and an extra controller.
That's not bad considering it's $300.
Yeah.
What sucker did you find? Honestly, those things were going for like $600 at one point.
I know. I remember. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know if somebody just tried it and was just like, I don't care anymore. But I mean, it had Madden and like FIFA and something else. I had a lot of fun with it. So
yeah.
I don't. Yeah, so I got a good deal on it.
What about you, Church?
I remember buying it when I used to work at Best Buy one day, and and I pretty much I was like, save this for me. I'm gonna go get it. So I finally got it, opened up the box, and I'm setting it up and whatnot, and put in the first game, and I don't remember what game I had at the time. I think it was like Warhawk. Was it? No, that was PS1. No, I forgot what game I had when I first got for the PS2. But I remember popping it in, and I was like, man, I can be up all night for this, but I gotta work in the morning.
I think everybody had that problem.
Yeah.
Me, mine's a interesting story. I was actually in class. I was still in the Air Force. I was taking a class down in Florida, so I was trying to get to the base exchange before or as it opened to get one. But then I found out you had to fill out these cards as some of the higher ups in the military weren't going to be able to get there in time to get one. So they were giving it more as a raffle, which I thought was bullshit. Still to this day think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
um so they pulled their rank and got some raffle bullshit going on. So I'm sitting there going, great, now what do I do? So I was driving around, found a Target. They weren't opening up till 8 in the morning, but they were selling the games already. So I actually bought Madden and Unreal Tournament. I think it was just called Unreal Tournament. Yeah, back then, yeah, it was just Unreal Tournament. For the PS2 that day or that afternoon. Now I got two games and I still got to figure out how to get a system.
Nice.
So I got back to the lodging, and the only mode of transportation I had was a government truck. So I was like, all right, I got to find something. I started calling around. They're like, no, not till 8, not till 8. This store, that store. Well, I found a Super Walmart 24/7. I call around 7:30, and they're like, yeah, we got them in. I said, how many? They're like, we don't know. Upwards of to maybe 50. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. I was like, well, how many people do you have in line? About 21, 22. I was like, all right, bye. I threw up that phone, got in that truck, and I took off. So I get there about 7:30, 7:45, and I get in line, and I'm 30. I'm number 30. So I'm like, okay, I should have a shot here. I should have a shot. So Walmart pulls biggest bullshit in the world. You can't sit on the floor of their store. You have to buy one of their lawn chairs or fold-out chairs.
Oh, jeez.
So I was like, I had just enough money for the PS2, and I was like, fuck. So I had to stand. I had to stand for 5 hours.
Ugh.
So there was a lady behind me that was in like one of those rascal scooters because she couldn't walk too well or stand up for long periods of time. So at one point she has to stretch from time to time, so she let me sit down on her thing for a while, which was the worst idea ever. Because the minute I got off that thing and tried to stand up again, I almost fell over. My legs were like, holy shit, what the hell? We gotta get back to standing up. But I finally got it. I think I walked out of the store about 12:30, and basically, I think walking out, there's a couple people watching people walk out, and I think they were gonna try to steal it from somebody. So I kept my eye on people behind me. Got into the truck and I just dipped, and I couldn't even play it that night because I had class the next morning. And since it's military, I had no choice.
Yeah.
Couldn't call out, so got stuck going to class. As soon as I got off, I came back, played Madden, and I loved it. So that's how I got mine.
So you misappropriated taxpayer dollars so that you could get a video game system. I like it.
No comment. I said what I needed to say, and that's it. Oh, so what is everybody's favorite memories other than how you guys ended up getting one?
Putting in Kingdom Heart for the first time. No, I'm joking.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Don't lie.
Okay. Putting in Okay, yeah. Putting in like pretty much any role-playing game for the first time, just like it excited me. It was like that system had so much RPG to choose from. Like it was like pretty much pick and choose what you wanted to play. But I remember putting in Kingdom Hearts, start playing it for a while. I'm like, this game is awesome. And then after like the third hour, I'm like, God damn, this game is repetitive.
That's what I felt. I got really bored with Kingdom Hearts really fast, even though I own both of them.
Well, I mean, it is. I think it was because it was for me, anyways, it was an interesting storyline when you had the mix of like Square Enix and Disney mixed into it.
The only
And
reason for me to play it was seeing Eris again.
Oh yeah.
I was like, she's alive! Holy shit! But yeah, that was actually one of mine. The fact that it had so many Japanese RPGs on the system, while the PS1 kind of set the example of stealing all the JRPGs away from other systems, the PS2 definitely became the console for Japanese RPG fans. Even now, there are some coming out still this year. You've got Devil Summoner 2 coming out soon, and I believe a couple others. I can't think of the names off the top of my head, but it shows that it's still got enough leverage that these companies are still going to try to bring out the Japanese RPGs that we have missed so far. So it was definitely nice to see all the ones come out, whether it was the Persona series or any of the Shin Megami Tensei series. Even right from the bat, we had a game like Dark Cloud, which was actually really fun as it came out. Final Fantasy X was good. It's just a nice system for the Japanese RPG crowd.
Well,
It
yeah,
was.
Final Fantasy X was good. It's just that unfortunately we can't say the same thing about 10-2.
Well, that game froze on me, and I never touched it again because I lost 2 hours of gameplay.
Really?
Yeah.
That game was crappy from the from the start to
It's
end.
my style of game, too. That's the sad part.
Well, yeah, because you had Charlie Angels of Final Fantasy in it.
It's all female characters. I was like,
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
awesome.
That's why it suits you much better than it did me.
I was like, and you can change outfits mid-battle. That's fucking great.
Yeah, I knew you. I know
But,
that.
but once the game froze and I lost all that, because it froze while I was changing an outfit in battle, and I was like, when did I save last? And I reloaded it. I was like, okay, I'm done.
Oh God. You're like, I had gotten them so many outfits.
No, you don't really. I guess you don't really
No,
get
you
them
really-
outfits. They kind of learn abilities as they go through.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you already started with so many outfits to begin with. You can get some more.
I'm just joking.
So, well, what's one of your memories there, Quig?
Yeah, actually, it was a lot of it had to do with RPGs as well. I mean, I put like 70 some hours into Final Fantasy IX because I didn't have a chance to play it on PS1 because I didn't have one. So I went back and I went and played that.
Yes,
And
and
I mean,
that's one of the nice things. It actually gave you full backwards compatibility.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it was a huge misstep. I know we're back to. I know we did that episode a few weeks ago, but they really should have had backwards compatibility just because of the libraries.
Especially the PS2 library.
Yeah, exactly.
So many good games for the PS2. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole.
There's another
Oh, we
thing.
don't want to go back.
Just the library that the PS2 had and still has. I mean, still coming out with games. It's just freaking huge.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like if I go look at my games and I look at my collections for each system, my PS2 takes up more than 2 shelves, almost 3 shelves on my game shelf.
Yep.
I mean, nothing else even takes up a full row, except for maybe not even my PS1 games do that. So I think DS is my next closest to doing that.
Yeah, but it was just being able to some of these games just sit down, and I know obviously now graphics have gone way past this, but I just remember sitting there looking at these things like this is freaking amazing.
Yeah, and that's one thing though with being a fan of JRPGs and RPGs in general. A lot of times graphics don't mean shit. It's about the story, how it captures you. So that's why I love knowing that I still own all these RPGs and I can go back to them.
Yeah. Although I didn't like Dark Cloud, I played it for like 2 days and I didn't get into it.
I enjoyed it, but I think at the time there's so many other games coming out that I kind of put it down and I never really picked it back up. I want to go into something else. One thing the PS2 had was a lot of good fighting games. It had the Soul Calibur series came to it and did a really good job. They had the best controller with the D-pad, and Sony still has continued that, even with the PS3. For those who don't want to spend money on those fighting sticks, I mean, it was made for fighting game fans. You had games like, not just the Soul Calibur, Tekken was huge on there.
Oh yeah, it was.
You had a lot of Neo Geo fighters make comebacks. Like King of Fighters series made a huge comeback on there. You had games like Marvel vs. Capcom. While it was better on the 360, the Xbox because of the better online play. Just the D-pad itself, like I said, it was just great for that. But you also had like import fighting games come out for that were huge. Fate Stay Night, Melty Blood. You had Namco versus Capcom, Arcana Heart, which finally came out here through Atlas. I mean, you had these 2D fighters. Guilty Gear was the one that became huge once it hit PS2. They brought back a lot of the 2D fighters as well, like I was saying. So.
Well, they also, I thought the Street Fighter Alpha series did pretty well also.
Yeah.
In my opinion, yeah.
They had a Street Fighter collection come out, and it was really good. I mean, I'm not a big fighting game fan, but so while Street Fighter 4 bored the hell out of me, some of the older ones and the 2D ones especially are the ones I like the most.
I mean, I don't know if it's just me or not, but it seems like when we talk about the PS2 and some of the older systems and whatnot, it seems like they actually took the time to make the game as best as they can. I don't want to go off topic or anything like that, but especially for the PS2, I mean, such a huge library of great, almost like good to great games out there. I mean, it seems like they spend more time on the actual title than they're like, oh, here, this game is graphically good, but the storyline is alright. I mean, it's just that most of the games is like graphically is not good, but you're gonna enjoy the hell out of the story though. Well, and that's the one thing I loved about the PS2 because the majority of the game was like that.
Well, I agree. They took a lot of chances also with games on the PS2. Yeah. You had games like Okami come out.
Oh yeah.
Odin Sphere was another style of Japanese RPG, but it was a side-scrolling action game.
Ico was another
gorgeous. One. Yep. Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, God of War came out. They took a lot more chances on that, and it seems nowadays they make an IP on one of these new systems and they just run it into the ground.
Well, yeah. Yeah, they do, because, I mean, that's where the money is. It's a lot easier to sell people on a sequel to some game they have already played and loved than to create a new IP.
Now, the PS2 also created one of my favorite IPs, was Time Splitters. It was a launch title, and it was a great first-person shooter. While it's not a great first-person shooter controller, it was a fun series. You had the Yakuza series come out, which is kind of like Sega's new Shenmue, except more action-oriented, which was really good. Showed them taking another step. And you had a lot of stuff like Katamari Damacy came out for the PS2.
Yep. Oh, that game was blue.
I can't stand it, but I'll give it its props where it's due. I mean, I'm not a fan of the game. I don't like to play. But it was something that you didn't normally see.
Oh, no, I didn't mean like blue, like the game was sucked or anything. I mean, when I was working at GameStop, when the game first came out, it was some like almost every customer was like, hey, do you have the game? Do you have the game? Do you have the game? And I always ask them the one question, you have it reserved?
Of course you did.
I hate that question. Do you have it reserved? No, well, I'm walking in with a receipt for no fucking reason at all.
No, because you have to ask them that, especially when you work there. So do you have a reserve? Oh, you want to reserve it, sir? It's only $5 down to reserve it, sir. Yeah. It comes out during this date.
Yeah.
You sure you want to put down the $5? If you trade in, blah blah blah, that whole thing.
Yeah. The other thing you saw was a lot of new survival horror IPs pop up. You had Fatal Frame. First made its debut there. Siren. Kuon was another.
Silent Hill didn't debut there. Didn't it debut in PS1?
Silent Hill debuted, but it really made its impact when it came out on the later consoles on that generation. Yeah. Unfortunately, Resident Evil really didn't make its presence known on the PS2.
No.
But you had other IPs come out that were just shocking. Look at hell, the biggest series of all, Grand Theft Auto, made its
Oh my God.
rebirth on the PS2.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I played
GTA
Grand Theft
3.
Auto 3 so much, and then Vice City so much. San Andreas, I enjoyed it for a while, and I loved the setting and all because I was big into that 90s hip hop, late 80s, early 90s hip hop. But it just kind of got boring to me.
Yep.
But Grand Theft Auto Vice City to me was the epitome of GTA games. Even now, Grand Theft Auto 4 is but Vice City is still the best setting they've had.
Back in the 80s and all that.
Yeah,
all
I
that
loved it.
mess. Yeah.
So,
Uh,
yeah, definitely the library was huge. Another thing
God,
I
those
liked
movies.
about it was while it's frowned down upon, importing of games. The Japanese library was just as good, and there was a lot of great import games to bring over. It's where Oni-Chanbara first made his debut, was in Japan as budget titles. Like I said, you had Namco versus Capcom, which has never come over here due to licensing issues between the two companies. But they also saw a resurgence of dating sim titles in Japan with it. I know not everybody else is really into that, but one thing that
I
happens
told you I
is-
played one.
Yeah. Well, dating sims come out in Japan on PC, and they tend to be hentai games.
Yeah.
So for those that don't like that hentai aspect, the PS2 was a great platform to start picking these up in a toned down version. And they had a lot. I mean, they were out there for the Dreamcast, they were out there for the Saturn, but not like the PS2. And I just thought the import gaming on the PS2 was great. It's probably the one platform I own the most for. I've got a lot of good games that are imports. Lucky Star, Haruhi, Bleach games. Bleach Blade Battlers 2 is freaking awesome. You can have up to 4 people fighting at once, and it's just a blast. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to offer.
Not on imports, no.
No, I mean on just memories.
Oh, I actually, Blockbuster once made this mistake of having you could buy a pass, and you could rent one game or movie every day during a month. Like you had one free rental of that for every day, and I literally went to Blockbuster every day and picked up a different game. Oh yeah, let me tell you, The Bouncer is a terrible fucking game. God, that game
Oh,
was
I remember that game. God, that was horrible.
it was so terrible. I'm just playing it. I'm like, why am I still playing this? I don't know. I'm smashing these buttons, but there's no reason to.
My friend loves the game.
Oh my god, it's so terrible.
That game was horrible.
I never played it. I think I played a demo or something or on my friends, and I was like, yeah, I'll never play that again.
Oh, good thing.
Church, if you want to see something hilarious, on The Escapist, there's a video show called Unskippable, and they do one for The Bouncer, and is hilarious.
Oh god.
Oh god, yeah, that was so many terrible games. That was the one thing. It's sort of like the original NES library. Like there were all these awesome games, and then there were all these really terrible ones.
Yeah. Well, there was another good series I just remembered that came out for the PS2. Started there. That actually really kicked off this karaoke craze on consoles, and that's SingStar.
Oh yeah, I did.
SingStar, basically, I think they may have Karaoke Idol, but or Karaoke Revolution. But the problem with Konami, they don't get the licensing for songs, so it tends to be covers. But SingStar actually brought 2 mics to the game. They brought fully licensed songs. You can have video, or maybe that's the PS3 version.
Yeah, that's PS3.
But the thing is, if you put in a game for the SingStar games, you can eject that disc and put in any other game and keep playing. You don't have to wait for it to restart up. It's awesome. It's great for parties. I was kind of surprised as to how much people loved it at one party I had recently.
That good, huh?
yeah, I think it's great. I mean, the SingStar games, I own pretty much all of them except for Country, which
Oh, come on, you need to have it for me. Come on, man.
I'll eventually get. I mean, just to
Oh
get,
no!
I gotta get it. I mean, I got it just in case other people want to play, sing it. I don't care.
I just say no.
I can't help it.
Hey, Nancy Reagan taught us that.
How to say no?
Yeah.
Yeah, just say no. Her anti-drug campaign, the war on drugs. Um, but yeah, I like the SingStar series. Now here's the big thing. When PS2 finally decided to downsize its system, and it came out the PS2 Slim. That was a big and smart step for the PS2. When it came out the Slim, I thought was a great marketing move. I mean, people went out and went nuts and started buying the Slims up.
Oh, because it was about
Did
as
you
hard
guys-
as getting the original PS2.
Did you guys actually buy
I don't
a
have.
Slim?
I did.
I don't
didn't.
have them. Eventually, I'll probably have to end up getting one when my other one craps. But I never bought one. But I thought it was a good marketing move on their part, and to
Oh,
start
yeah.
coming out with various colors, because each color would start selling more.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a great move for them because of how bulky that the original system was. So when people were like, when people saw, oh, hey, here's the same PS2 system, it's just that it's slimmer and smaller, and you can pretty much fit it anywhere in your room. Oh,
Yep.
people ate that up.
Yeah. I do want to get into some of the missteps they had. I'll let you guys bring up.
I
Anything
guess
that you
for,
had.
I guess for me, some of the games ran really slowly because of the processing speed. Was like I think it was like a little under 300 megahertz,
I
I
don't
believe.
know.
But it you play games like that had a lot of enemies on your screen like Dynasty Warriors.
Oh
And
yeah.
then your system starts to slow down. You're hitting one button, and you keep on having to spam it because if you stop, the enemy starts to hit you, and you're like, "This is crap," because the PS2 cannot handle that many enemies at the same time, and
Oh,
irritated
yeah.
the hell out of me.
And the guy you're actually trying to fight, he disappears, and you're like,
It's like, where the hell is he? Where the hell is he?
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. It's just that no, because that was the one thing I thought about it, especially when they brought out with the PS2 Slim. I thought they could have at least upped the ante on the processing speed maybe a little bit, but no, they kept it the same, and it's like all you hear was just the disc, the readers is reading the disc, like you hearing that constantly, like come on, load already. You gotta sit there and let it load, and I'm like, oh come on.
Yeah. I think one of my biggest issues was the online play of the system.
oh man, you stole mine.
Was none.
Besides the SOCOM games
Yep.
and Final Fantasy XI, the online play on most other games was crap. I tried the Twisted Metal Black. I didn't like it. I thought there was some lag here and there. It just didn't seem like they got it. I mean, granted, it's kind of carried on, but back then, that whole big add-on was like clunky as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You just like you had to unscrew the back, put it onto, and just push it into it, and it just I don't know. The whole modem just didn't really sit well with me.
Well, when they came up with the Slim, that's why that was another reason why I drew a lot of people because it had the built-in modem.
Yeah, but their online still wasn't that great.
You know, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't
PSN
that
was
good either.
horrible back then.
It's still horrible now. Are you kidding me?
I don't know if I'd even call what they had back then a PSN. Like it was, oh my gosh! Like I remember trying to get on. I was like, oh my god, Madden! I can totally get on now. This is gonna be the best. Oh my god, this is terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like you would start the game and you'd start playing you play a few plays, and then all of a sudden disconnect. Or if you started winning, like if you scored right away, they would just like, yeah, and then they would disconnect. You're like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go back to playing the computer now.
Hey, that sounds like now.
Well, the other thing that kind of tied in with the online play was the hard drive. I bought Final Fantasy XI originally to try and play.
I remember that.
And the hard drive was this wonderful idea. I loved it at first. I was like, this is going to be great. All these games can utilize it. I can start saving directly to that. And I think Resident Evil, one of their online games, was the only one to really use it. And it was just kind of like, oh, well, sorry you paid all this money for a fucking hard drive. Yeah, bend over a little.
Yeah, wasn't it like $150 to get the hard drive?
It was $100. It came with the game of Final Fantasy XI, which you pretty much had to fully download anyway because of all the updates by the time you got on there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an MMO now. If you go in without the updates, you're pretty much going to sit there forever. I remember I walked away. I can't even tell you how many hours. I put it on, let it start updating, and I just walked away.
Oh man, that sounded like me when I actually popped in the disc to beta test it on the PC. Popped it in, like the Quig. You remember the days when there was like the huge box of the huge box of PC games? Yeah. Okay, imagine when they first go down with the miniature size boxes, okay? And you open up and there's 7 CDs you have to put in to install this game.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. So I popped in one disc and it was like close to 11 o'clock. Pop in one disc, went to bed. 2 hours later, woke up, put in the second disc, went to bed. 2 hours later, pop in the third one. Oh yeah, that night I don't know how many hours of sleep I got that night.
God. Those were the good old days.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, like the hard. I don't know why not that many companies utilize that hard drive. I thought it was a great idea.
I don't know why they didn't utilize it at least for a save feature, or Sony didn't already have it in there as like the third memory card or something like that.
Well, I think at the same time you have to look at the error aspect of like if they allowed people to save games onto the hard drive, they would lose sales on the memory card.
But I spent $100 for that.
I know. No. I'm agreeing with you. I wish you could save on that hard drive, but you also have to look at Sony's part. Like most of their sales was coming from like the games and the accessories, which included the majority of the memory card. So
why I was getting bent over on my purchase.
Yeah, everyone did that bought the hard drive. I didn't.
I didn't.
But
I still own it.
Yeah, no. No, I was dumb enough to buy the online component thing. I bought the modem thing.
Yeah, I bought that too.
Although I did get to beta test SOCOM 2, that was fun.
Nice. I'm not a SOCOM fan, really. I can't seem to get into it.
But at the time, I mean, for a console shooter, I was just...
Yeah. Well, I played the
PS2.
first one, and I was like, wow, this game is crap! And I took it back to the rental store. I don't know. I couldn't get into it at all. What else? We had... I don't know about you guys. I had one of the first PS3s ever released. I had a lot of problems playing DVDs off of there. They'd play fine, but the audio wouldn't sync up.
Did you say PS3 or PS2?
Oh, sorry, PS2.
Okay.
The audio would not sync up all that well on some of the DVDs.
Well, there was also DVD restrictions on the first generations also.
No, but the problem is you can't have it to where you can't watch a DVD on day one and it's already lagging and people talking.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never noticed that. I never had a problem with that.
Oh no, it was that bad.
That was one of my problems. I remember watching it. I was going, "This is awful. Please stop."
I never noticed that before.
Yeah.
Of course, I had a DVD player before that, so it was whatever.
Yeah, and I want to say my final misstep of the PS3. I don't know if anybody else had this problem. People want to complain about the freaking red ring. Fuck your red ring crying. I'm on my third PS2. Every year and a half, I had one die. The year and a half
Never.
after I got it on release night, died. Year and a half after that one, died. So, and I've never had a red ring on either of my 360s. So, kiss it. My PS2 had more problems than freaking 360.
Because there was I think it was overheating problems, I believe.
I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. I just know it stopped working, and I went to go get a new one. That one stopped working. I went to go get a new one.
No,
That's weird.
I'm trying to remember what was the issue. I think there was an overheating issue with the PS2s,
Wouldn't surprise me.
and there was also an issue where like the CD tray kept on breaking.
Oh yeah, that one I've heard of.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
are you guys idiots? I mean, well, okay, some of the people that own the PS2 like to put the system onto their carpet floor,
Yeah.
and then like they turn it on and leave it on, and all of a sudden start smoking and whatnot. They come back and like, and literally when they come back to GameStop and they like my system's not working anymore. One of the questions that we literally had to ask was, did you have carpet? And they go, yeah. Did you put the PS2 on the carpet? And they go, yeah. I'm like, that's what happened. I guess the PS2 took a lot of the static electricity and it zapped itself. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this is an issue, and apparently people didn't like to put it anywhere else, like something like a hard surface or anything like that. They like to put it on the carpet, and they would come back. I don't know. I remember this one guy. He came back like in a time span of like 3 weeks, and he had to buy two. He had to buy two PS2s at the time.
Wow.
During that time span because he kept on putting on the carpet. I'm like, dude, quit doing that.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So wait, did you lose one, Church?
No, I never lost one.
Me either.
Jesus.
Got it in 2001. Still works today.
Man. Nope. I got mine that release day, and it October 26, 2000. And it died a year and a half later. Bought that one, died a year and a half later. Bought that one, and it's still going.
For
So
how much
I
longer? We
don't.
don't know.
That's why I have a problem with the whole red ring thing. I think all consoles have their problems. It's
Sure.
just back then we didn't have the media that we do now for the 360s.
No.
Because right now the PS3s are starting to have the problems, the red flashing light or the yellow flashing light. And it's just it happens.
I also think that Sony is. Yeah, I mean, I know that Sony's a huge company, but it's a lot easier to hate on Microsoft.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So I think that's a big part of it too.
What? I can't hate on Microsoft?
Sony was hard to hate on.
Yeah, they
And
were hard
especially
to
with
hate
the PS2 until now when they started getting way too arrogant. But anybody else have any other missteps that they'd like to discuss with Sony that they had? I can't think of anything else.
on. No, I really can't.
I don't think the PS2 had a lot of missteps, honestly.
No.
No, it didn't. I mean,
It
the
didn't
one
have
thing
a lot of shovelware.
they did. I mean, the one thing I wish Sony did was actually release more first party games.
They released a lot. They had all
What's
the
that?
Ratchet and Clank.
Well, they had. They had some great ones. Don't get me wrong, but I wish I wanted to see a little bit more variety from them. From like the Ratchet and Clank. What else? What else did they have?
SOCOM.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Sony could have done a whole lot more developing wise.
Yeah, but we'll be honest, Killzone sucked. The original Killzone was awful.
It was. I
Yeah,
remember playing that and I'm like, okay.
But Dark Cloud series was a Sony original. God of War. Well, I can't think of much else that was. Rogue Galaxy was an RPG that came out.
Oh, that was terrible.
Really? I didn't mind it.
Oh man, I put that in. I like 10 minutes later, I pulled out. I was like, this sucks. I'm stopping.
I kind of enjoyed it.
No.
Plus, the other ones who first brought out the Rumble Roses series
Yeah,
on their console.
which I know you loved.
Oh, I do. I own both of them. What can I say? Japanese chicks wrestling? Woohoo! That's why I want Wrestle Angels, the import game.
Silence.
What?
Yeah.
You guys just need to play it. You'll love it.
Rumble Roses, I did play for like.
No, I meant no. Wrestle Angels.
Oh,
Sure.
But
anyways.
Yeah. You guys suck.
I think one thing I definitely loved about the PS2 was that it lasted so long that the development just got better and better as the console's life has gone on.
Yeah. Well, you
Well,
can look at the games like Persona, or Odin Sphere of how they really have learned how to max out the graphics quality.
Well,
hmm
well, look at when God of War came out. I mean, that was like one of the first games that, almost utilized the whole system.
Yeah. I mean, it really did well. The only problem is this is another misstep. Rogue Galaxy, God of War 1 and 2 came out, and some of the older fat PS2s couldn't play them. Some people had problems with it. Not everybody ran into this problem, but a lot of people did. Because I remember when I was buying Rogue Galaxy at the store, the clerk at GameStop was like, "Do you have the fat or the slim?" And I was like, "The fat." She goes, "Well, you may have problems playing this game, and I'm telling you, if you bring it back tomorrow because you can't play it, I will give you a full refund."
Wow.
Because a lot of their used games, they're very iffy.
Yeah.
And she says, full refund is they have to, but she was going to give me something else or help me pick out a game or two at the same price, if not an extra one. She was really cool. I never had a problem with that girl, but she she was definitely looking out for me as a consumer. So, but yeah, they had that problem with some. So some people were stuck buying a PS2 Slim. So it's another minor misstep.
Yeah.
Personally, I guess we all agree that the PS2 is one of the best systems ever put out there.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, it took what the PS1 did and just made it that much better. So,
Yeah, I wish we can say the same thing about the PS3, but
don't we?
I mean, I'm not hating on the PS3. I mean, I really, how can I put this?
Hate it.
Hates it. Yeah.
No. I can endure my PS3 for right now, but I just wish, again, going back to whatever topic we had about the Sony thing, they need to do something about this system. Killzone 2, it's great and everything if you like being a midget, but it's a great looking game and everything. They just need to do more with that system right now. I have no idea what their plans are with that damn thing.
I don't think they do.
I seriously don't either.
But no, I don't want to
this
get
is
back
coming
into
out of
that
love.
discussion.
Yeah.
This is me coming out of love.
Yeah.
That I love Sony. I've been a Sony fanboy for a very long time, and just me talking about the PS3 the way that I have been the past couple weeks now, it's really killing me because I want to see the PS3 really go far. Maybe go not as far as the PS2 because I highly doubt they can top what they did for the PS2, but just try to almost equal it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be
But,
nice.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps up our PS2 discussion. Like I said, there's still a few more games still coming out for it, so we'll see how much longer it lasts. But it's definitely on the decline. So
Well, thankfully, the PS3 is starting to outsell it. That's a
Yeah.
good sign.
basically, let's figure out what our next discussion is going to be. I'm up for the big one. that's pretty much left on our list, which is not the adult only. Thinking more of what's left for the next generation of consoles to advance.
All right.
And what do you want in the future console generation? So, Are we good with
Microchips
that
in
one?
the head. No, I'm joking.
are we good with that one?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, okay, everybody. So, all you listeners out there, we will be discussing next week what's left for the next generation of consoles, not the one we're playing now. We're no longer considering PS3 and 360 next gen, but the ones that they're coming after, the 720 or the PS4 or
Wii HD. No, wait.
yeah, Wii HD with Wii Plus motion controls. Um,
I
now
don't want to
what's
see your Wii HD.
basically-
Ew.
what's left for them to do in the next one that can really put it to the next level, and what would you like to see in that future console generation? So leave us your comments, questions. You can hit us up at pwned.com Total Meltdown or pwned.com/forums and check out the Total Meltdown section there.
Twitter.
Yeah, we also have twitter.com/Total Meltdown along with twitter.com/GNitro, twitter.com/Quiglin, twitter.com/Church4252, which is basically our pwn.coms as well.
Right.
Excuse me. It's getting a
Well,
little...
this is G Nitro's last show, obviously, as he
No.
dies on air.
No, I'm just tired. I haven't slept since 7 last night.
Uh,
So, kind of hurting here. Working mid-shift kind of drains me. So, it was another good show, in my opinion. I liked the discussion on the PS2.
Big fan.
Look forward to next week's. Want to thank everybody for listening. I know it's a shorter show this week, so I hope everybody enjoys that.
Yeah. Enjoy your time off.
Yeah. That's it for Total Meltdown this week, episode 22. Look for us next week on episode 23. I am G Nitro.
This is
I'm
Church.
Quiglin. Oh, and I'm Quiglin.
Hey, next time I'm gonna do rock paper scissors to see who says that.
All right.
Jack and Pon, Jack and Pon, Jack and Pon. All right.
Oh God, I
Nobody
can't wait
gets-
to hear what
Wait.
the music's gonna be this week.
Hey, Church, weren't you on Gametopius last week?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
You should plug
Oh.
that.
Yeah, I was a guest for Gametopius in last week's show, so it was a quite interesting show, needless to say. We talked about pretty much almost everything, and I mean almost everything into the show. And make sure you listen because Rich continue his ripping on.
Yeah, he's
I
got a
think that's real-
fascination with me liking hentai, which is
Yeah.
almost more of a fascination than I have with the hentai games.
It's sort of funny because it's funny, but you need to listen because it's almost like a continuation after last week's show, and then you just listen to Gametopia. It's like
Yeah.
it pretty much intertwined with each other. So it's really a good listen, though.
Yeah. And Quiglin should be on there in the next few weeks after we get through a couple guests that we have to get through from the industry. So
Cool.
look forward to that one.
Yeah.
And we will talk to y'all later. Peace.
So.
Later.